was a Russian dancer when they met, employed at Versailles on Rue de Lille, a small hotel. Tatiana hadn't yet done any modeling. She was eager. Still, the Soutine fell on her. She had no idea about the etiquette. An act of will on Soutine's part prevailed. "Stand over there," he said, positioning a desk lamp with red cloth draped across the shade. "Forget your hair, it's fine. You want me standing? Should I get undressed?" He answered yes and yes, and posed her slightly turned, positioning her head off-center at the upper canvas edge. She closed her eyes. "No, open them. Stay focused on the painting over there." Soutine composed the figure as his model looked upon a side of beef. Her eyes were open wide. The artist stirred his cavities around, started on the face. She looked aside, perhaps a nod to Orthodox taboo, but more an echo of the Jewish bride. The blushing cheek, an abstract flow of pink and yellow sagged against the brown on black. Soutine worked rosy colors for the details of the face, the nose, the swollen lips, which hit the high red tone that pulls the eye toward the center of the storm in Soutine's paintings. Moving to the shoals of flesh tone underneath the modeled breasts, the model shivered nervously. Her folded hands beneath the soft décolletage squeezed red on white, the blushing hues of cheek and ear. And to the nipples next, he laid an open red, a sweep of blue along the lower contour of a languid arm, and then he worked the highlights for the image in a wave of white and sanguine flesh, still raw, began to take on weight. Whited out the nipples, the sagging breast, glowing marked on the right, which drew attention to the irritated nipple on the left. A touch of white as highlight and a shadow compensated for the overkill. And so the face, the hands, the breast. An understatement carried over to a wordless space, the feeling rising like the eyebrows over tired and astonished eyes. Its grace came forward. And the nude connected to that other painting of a woman fully clothed, if not the Jewish bride, perhaps the Russian lover with the jaundiced yellow belly, taut and gently rounded, ready to be torn apart. You have the human body caught between the temple and the avatar, the woman hanging side beef. There's no pillowed mats on the floor. The session ended. Soutine made a brief, distracted bow and paid the Russian model. He called a cab, much to her relief. Tatiana left the artist's cluttered hovel 20 francs ahead, unmolested by this free-bit painting. The Modigliani, master of the nude, invested canvases with sweeps of feminine repose and flesh. His masterpiece contested by his Russian protege. Paul Weingarten describes the Soutine nude as the most grand portrayal of the human form between Courbet and, well, whoever's next. The stand quite gutsy, given all the nakedness of modern and postmodern art. To understand its meaning, one looks backward from the best to Titian, to Veronese, to Rembrandt, to Soutine. I like that kind of gutsiness. He's also kept a painter from his easel as the Germans rattled sabers. Gardner monitored both situations, knowing either, especially the latter, could land hard or deadly in the space she finally found. According to her immigration card, she was a German divorcee. Around the Star of David on a seal, there ran a stamp that laid her family history down with designation of Jew. There had been a plan among collectors at the Club de Arts and Gallery in Chicago that had shown Soutine to bring him to America. It fell apart. I cannot come. You haven't any trees. This odd but adamant reply, the start was something like the end. For 3 months, he refused to paint. Castaings intervened at last and took him to Seurat. He undertook a series on the lanes of plane trees and another at the farms. Domestic animals, alive. The spring of 1940 found the painter's arms around a mule. Castaings' new assignment, gaining Soutine access to the barns. His attitude precipitates a climate of resentment. Kime, this is my wife you're talking to. I need the white one, damn it! Look at the horse, says Madeline. His life apparently depends upon it. So it seemed. At dawn, the Castangs trundled off and came back after lunch. They had a pony. The farmer's son had kept them overnight. Soutine apparently destroyed the only painting of this model. Pigs and clover, curled together sleeping, made the cut. The draggled cows. Soutine, the donkey lover, found some peace in living the still life, but began to fall apart with Madeline. Soutine, your timing's off. There are a lot of, well, considerations. There's a war, and frankly, we're not wild about the pigs, she said. You came at us this way before at Valentine, but I don't give 2 figs for ancient history, he growled. And don't think I don't know my situation. Rags and bones, a Jew in France. Madame, I want you to support this series. Pulling out the minute I change course? Come on. I can't believe it. Madeline stood firm. Well, count me as a former painter in your stable. He grabbed the canvas and he said goodnight. Soutine, I'd buy it now if I were able. We've come back entirely and fine, he shrieked. He left her at the kitchen table. And the wind gusts that he left in turned to rain. He trudged along the dark streets of Seurat. He would not make the Monday morning train to Paris. Madeline marked the day he walked to the windstorms, the fall of night, and blackout. Thank you. You are a wonderful and long-suffering audience. I did it for 4 years, and it's Saturday. Thanks a lot. Again, now, thank you, thanks everyone for coming. Since she's here, I'd like to thank Michelle Aubois, who edited the book before my publisher. Thanks so much. Stick around.
Oh,